bees. We discovered earlier on the show, bees are really important. They make everything. They don't just make honey. Bees even make cheese, kind of. They're responsible for pollinating the crops that feed the water buffalo that make the cheese, you see. Anyway, have we finally turned a corner when it comes to halting the decline in the number of our honeybees? A third of the world's crops are dependent on bees for pollination, and there are claims that came from Einstein himself that a world without bees means a world without fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, and perhaps even humans. Stony-based British Beekeepers Association said the death rates in colonies over the winter has been much lower than in previous years. That has to be good news. Let's speak to Tanya Weaver, who's from Warwick, and she's got a hive in her garden. Hello, Tanya. There's a boast for a Wednesday morning, isn't it?
Yes, I'm actually looking at it now outside my window.
Is it a big hive? What does it look like? Does it look like sort of a Winnie the Pooh one, like a little oval-shaped one?
Well, I've got a modern plastic hive. It's a bee house. So, if you know omelette, they make the chicken...
Oh, the ones that look like eggs?
Yes, they're plastic. They're bright plastic colours. So, the same company. So, I've got a bright green plastic beehive in my garden.
How intriguing. Why bees? When did you get interested in bees?
Well, I think it was about... This is my third season now. I think really... To be honest, I was worried about the decline of bees, but I think it's more the fact that I'm addicted to honey. I just really got into bees that way, just sampling all the different sorts of honey, and was quite intrigued that they could produce such different flavours. So, and then I just started researching bees, and someone said to me, you can keep bees in your garden, and and that was it. So I went to my local beekeeping association, did a course.
And then the rest was history. Now, presumably then, you'll have noticed yourself, if you're in season 3, we've had a couple of very harsh winters and then a mild and wet one. Have you seen the difference with your bees?
Well, definitely. This year, I mean, I've only got the one hive. At the moment, I've actually got 3 colonies because I'm babysitting a hive of my friends who's had a baby. I've actually got, more hives than I should, really. But definitely from my hive, the winter was quite mild. So in the spring, they just built up. They were so quickly. They were laying. The queen was laying really well, and there was definitely there was much further on this year compared to last winter.
Now, for the last few years, we've heard lots of sort of jumping up and down about bees, and you know the British Beekeepers Association and other organisations were telling us about the sharp decline in bees, and there were various things being pointed at: bee diseases, also the use of pesticides. Is it as simple as it was just a case of the weather was a bit rubbish, now it's settled down again, the bee population will settle down?
I think the weather has a part to play in this. I mean, if you think about it, bees, you know, you keep bees in Canada, and you know that's minus 20 degrees. You know, so bees will overwinter there. So our winters are nothing compared to that. So I think the weather does have a part to play, but I think the bigger problem is when there's the varroa mite, which is a big problem, which will never go away.
It's a parasite that affects bees and what have you. So the bees are still in danger, you think, but at least things are looking better a little bit now. If we wanted to help the bee population by keeping our own, how easy or difficult is it?
Well, I've had an interesting year because the bees expanded so quickly in the spring. Their natural instinct is to reproduce, and they do that by swarming. So the queen will lay another queen cell, and then in effect the colony will divide in half, and half will fly away. So I've had 2 cases of swarming this year. So my neighbours have been very understanding in bees flying in the air and into their garden. But I think it's keeping bees at home is not a problem. I don't think. It's as long as you've got a bit of space. But other than that, if you don't want to keep bees, I think bee-friendly flowers, you know, plant lots of good
We do that. We've got lots of lavender and lilac, and they love drumstick alliums. We've got those as well. So purple flowers of the future. Listen, Tanya, thank you so much. You can follow Tanya's adventures, by the way, with her bees at the blog Girl Meets Bee. And by the way, if you are interested in bees, Heritage Culture Warwickshire have just been in touch.